I'm surprised you haven't said anything yet.
What do you mean?
Well, because I'm recording.
God damn it! You were texting. That's why I didn't think you were recording.
No, I was writing
phone.
I was writing the name of the episode. I've been trying to title these as soon as we hit record.
Why then? Why
so that way I'll know.
The recording with a bunch of like digits.
Well, no. So it starts off with like the date and the time. Usually. So weapons. Let's do like the non-spoiler version of it first.
Oh God.
We just saw it. It's 12:01 a.m. on a Friday.
Well, now it's Saturday.
The Saturday, the day that it premiered, day after I guess it premiered, and we just saw it for the first time.
Immediate reactions, non-spoilery. I fucking loved it.
It's a good movie.
I'm not a horror person. I'm a big pussy. I was watching this movie through muted ears and behind the safety of the underneath of my shirt. I had my arms in my shirt. I was very scared. About halfway through the movie, I was no longer felt like I needed to be hiding anymore. This movie is very Pulp Fiction-y in that you're being told a story over a lot of different perspectives over a short amount of time. So, a lot of these stories butt up against each other in other parts of the story.
Yes.
And then it all culminates at one point. And I think that's a pretty good way of not spoiling the movie while also kind of saying what happens.
What's your non-spoiler rating for the movie?
It's going to be the same as the normal spoiler.
Well, okay,
you mean,
what's your rating out of 10?
I'm definitely still in the honeymoon phase of this movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Dude...
It's been 30 minutes since we got out.
It's been an hour and some change since we got out.
Oh, yeah, we did sit and talk.
We sat and talked in the parking lot with Justin for a while. I'd probably give, honestly, dude, it's a big 9. Probably a 9.4,
really?
9.5.
That's a lot higher than I am.
9.49. I know, I can tell. You seemed excited right away, and then you have waned in your excitement.
Well, I haven't waned. I've digested.
Okay.
I've digested.
Okay.
So, non-spoiler review of it will be, I liked it. I think it's a really well put together movie. It's not visually the camera work in this movie. The cinematography is incredible. Every shot is very deliberate. Every shot feels like you're watching almost like a comic book come to life in some sense because it doesn't show a lot of faces, and they use the kind of the action to be the storytelling rather than the facial expressions of the actors.
Yeah, when a facial expression is happening,
it's important.
It is very important.
Yes.
Not that honestly any frame of this movie is not important. There were a lot of times that I was looking at a character,
but they use their framing wisely. Hold on, before you go into because I wanted to do that.
Go.
But they use their framing wisely. It's really well done. It's a really well executed movie. It's not what you're gonna expect it to be, and I give it a 7 out of 10.
It is definitely not what you're gonna expect.
Yeah, a strong 7.
I found myself
spoilers now. We can do.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Real fast.
Sorry.
Keep it non-spoiler for a second. I will also say, if you go and watch this movie, when you're looking at a character's face, and when the camera decides that, when the moment in the film, the shot is deciding that we are looking at this character's face, it is not the most important thing on the screen.
That's true.
It's almost a trick. You're meant to be letting your guard down because you're finally looking at a person, and what really is going on is everything else around them. Yeah. It is geniusly shot. This movie is so well made. It is very, very much it's a horror movie, but I feel like there's almost a version of this script that is like a noir mystery that is hidden. You could put a black and white filter on this movie and put a guy with a pipe.
Can we say we're talking about weapons, by the way?
Yeah, you said
I know that
the movie is weapons.
I know people are probably going to read the title, but just in case you're listening to this and just winning.
I believe you said
this is
right
Weapons.
Away. Yeah, the movie Weapons. Yeah. Starring Josh
Brolin. Weapons 2025.
Yes.
If there's another one.
I don't, you know what, honestly, nowadays, I looked up a movie, I think, it might have been Ghost Story, the one I mentioned earlier, and I think there's 4 a Ghost Story, that title on IMDb.
I think 13 Ghosts has a couple different ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of specific movie titles that there are just. Yeah. I mean, dude, we've been making movies for 100 years.
If this is the first version of this, then it's because is it? I don't think there's anything else like this. Is this original IP? Or is it based off of anything?
Technically, but it's kind of like what we discussed in the The thematic. Okay, we will start to slowly get into spoilers starting now. 5 minutes in.
5 minutes in.
If you made it this far,
definitely watch it. If you're still listening from the spoiler free, definitely go watch it and come back to this. If you're that invested in this movie that you watched the review from us about it. If you don't give a fuck,
if you don't give a fuck, spoilers listen on.
Here.
But this movie is about a bunch of children that. Let me rephrase. This movie starts off and advertises itself as if a bunch of children get out of bed one night and just walk into the darkness and disappear forever. And for, 7/10 of this movie? That is all the information you have. 80%. It's not until the very final, quarter of this film that
it's not until you get to Alex that really things start to kind of.
Well, Marcus. Marcus is the first time where shit starts coming together because you meet the homegirl. You meet the crazy.
I guess,
the
but even then, you're like,
the real
what the
villain
fuck?
Of this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're starting to. I very quickly, as soon as she broke that twig and had both of their hair on it, I was like, oh, okay,
it's magic.
Well, not just magic, but I knew everything that was going to happen. Like she had Julia Garner's hair. He was going to try and kill Julia Garner. She's trying to kill Julia Garner. And
I don't see why she
more
didn't
than
just
likely
kill
this is
Julia
how
Garner
she grabbed all
right
the children.
away.
Huh?
I don't see why she didn't just kill Julia Garner
because it would tie her to it. She would have died in front of the house. It was in front of the house.
Or make her one of them right away. One of the zombie people.
Well, it's probably more
that's the only
because
plot
she's the
hole
focus of the investigation. The lady's a genius.
I see what you're saying. So if she disappears,
what was her name? It was.
I don't remember.
It was G.
I just called her Old Hag.
Yeah, like in Tangled.
Or the
Tangled
witch.
is what I was, or the witch.
Yeah.
Tangled is hilariously the closest thing to this I can imagine is Tangled.
So
this old witch lady is
doing everything.
She is the arbiter of the horror and terror of this story, and she abducted not only one of the children's name is Alex, the only child in the class that did not get abducted.
Wait, before we unpack all this, I was just going to say, because about the framing, I didn't want to give away in the spoilers, but right away in the movie, the first 5-10 minutes, you don't see anybody's face really. We see the teacher's face from the back. We see Alex's face from the back, or not face, but the back of their heads. There's a good long, because I was looking, I was like, damn, you haven't showed anybody's any main character's face yet, and it really builds to that reveal, and I really appreciate that. Chef's kiss, that was incredible. I love that. I love cinema language like that. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good.
You're talking about Alex.
In that same vein, before we get to that, because I want to stay in what you were saying real quick. The scene toward the end where you are starting to see the perspective of what happened in the beginning of the film. Yes. Because a majority of this film takes place a month after these, a month or 2 months. I can't remember.
It feels like it's across maybe 3 or 4 months.
It's been months.
Yeah.
It's been at least a month.
It hasn't been a year.
It has not been a year. It's been minimum 1 month, if not a couple or a few months.
Well, the school's closed for a month after the initial disappearance.
Yes.
So this is probably, I would say, 3 or 4 weeks after the school reopens.
Potentially. We're not totally aware.
Yeah, there's no time
I'm
stamp.
sure they said it, but again, we just watched it. This is going to be
the only time stamp that I remember is the school's closed for a month, and then they eventually had to bring everybody back.
Yeah,
and that's where we get dropped in.
Yes. So.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. A lot of stuff happens in the beginning, and they frame you this story in a similar way as there's a movie called Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. A mystery happens. The majority of the movie takes place 40 years after the mystery. But they give you a flashback of the mystery. And if you watch that flashback after you've seen the movie out of context, cheekily, through the camera, they kind of show you who is who and who the key elements are, but while giving you false data. The what is being told to you with words is not important, but what you're seeing is what's important. You know what I mean? Visually, something is happening that you're not being explained. Right. But it's being explained visually. And if you watch the movie, you're like, oh, fuck, they show us who it is right away. You know what I mean? And in this movie, there's a scene at the very beginning where Alex, the little kid, is being talked to by the police, and you see his parents from behind at the police station. But what really happens is you're not seeing the parents, you're seeing the dad and this lady, but you don't know that's what you're seeing. Yeah. And then by the time the movie fast forwards, and we get to Alex's perspective.
Does the lady have red hair in that scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure. I believe. Yeah. I don't think it's... this movie does not strike me as a movie that would have continuity errors.
Right. But I was picking that up throughout as occasionally this lady with red hair would pop in.
somewhere,
then,
like in the background.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck is that? Because the
Yeah.
way when you first notice her, it's like is it Archer? Is that his name?
Who?
The Josh Brolin's
Yes,
character.
he's Archer.
In Archer's dream is when you first see her.
No, Julia Garner. She's on the ceiling. Remember?
Was it Julia Garner?
Yeah, Julia Garner's
I knew she
perspective
was
is
in
the
both
first
dream
one.
sequences,
Yeah.
but I couldn't remember which one you really see her in. You know?
Yeah, you see her in both, but
It's
again,
like a flash in Julia
It's very
Garner.
quick,
She,
and it's very much the
slowly-
horror aspect of
Yeah.
the first half of the movie.
And you're like, how the fuck does she fit into all this, you know? And then, because I was like Becky at first in that, because Becky told me afterwards, she's like, I thought it was going to be like a government thing, like it was some kind of weird CIA psyop, like they were testing out. And like it was going to turn out that the rest of the town was actually hypnotized and the kids were fine.
Yeah.
I thought that's where this movie was going to go, just from the trailers. But
Really? The trailers made you think that?
yeah. I don't know. I like a lot of conspiracy shit, so I was like,
Oh,
This
like
big
you saw this conspiracy from somebody?
no. I
This was your own conspiracy?
So, honestly, what a lot of my inspiration for that idea of where this movie was going to go was MK Ultra and like the mind control experiments
sure.
and stuff with
Jesus.
LSD. So I was like, oh, okay, well maybe somebody's using that as inspiration for this. Like, what if they did this to kids and like, you know, the kids were evil, or not evil, but the kids were mind controlled, and then they flipped down its head where the rest of the town is actually mind controlled and thinking these kids just left and the kids are fine.
Okay.
I thought that was going to be like, you know, some kind of weird
Yeah, like
twist.
Once Upon
anyway.
a Time in Hollywood type shit with Charles Manson.
Is that how that movie ends? I've never seen it.
No, that's not. So, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they don't necessarily attack that, but that is kind of the big conspiracy with MK Ultra is that Charles Manson was like one of the primary test subjects,
yeah.
and that all of his people were brainwashed along
I can
with
see
him
that.
by the
I can
government.
see that. Yeah. I've never heard. Well, I may have heard. I've heard a lot of conspiracies over the years.
Yeah, so do I.
And some of them are more interesting to me than others. So you know,
Right.
usually the stuff that's real is the more.
It's
boring.
astounding to me that was where you thought this was going to go as a movie.
That's my first thought when I saw the trailer. I was like, okay, so mind control. And then when she started ringing the bell, I was like, oh, like mind control. But then, like the hair and the wrapping around the twig, like I was like, either this is really weird mind control or it's magic.
Well,
and
it's like voodoo. It's
or
very
you
much
know,
meant to be
voodoo
voodoo.
magic, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, the point is she can do it with like sorcery powers, and she's
Yeah.
very aware of shit going on around her.
Yeah.
What made me first think it was magic was when the guy painted witch on the side of her car, like that the main villain's somehow going to be tied to that, because I was like, that's a very specific like thing to paint on somebody's car.
Right.
That like whenever like if like you know a bunch of kids just disappeared from a class in town here, you know, my first thought wouldn't be, oh, the teacher's a witch. I would think like more like bitch or you know something else, something more like cunt, you know.
I mean,
But witch is like a very
17
specific.
children disappeared in the night.
Yeah.
That's a witchy thing to happen.
Yeah, for sure. But I was just thinking like, oh, okay, like either magic's gonna play an element, or they just were like, we didn't want to write bitch on the side of the car, you know. But this is a very intentional movie, and it happened so early on that I wasn't aware of just how intentional.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's good. I like it. I like the framing of that, and I like that the old lady just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I know you haven't seen Sinners yet, but
Well, just don't say anything.
I'm not
about
going to
it.
say anything. I'm just going to say very in vain with that, and that's all I'm going to say. Like we're seeing a lot more classic, I guess, horror movie villains be kind of like modernized.
Okay.
Because do you know anything about Sinners at all?
No, and I'm trying to keep it that
Okay,
way,
well,
so
never
stop
mind. I
talking
won't say
about it.
anything.
Okay, you've already said enough to
Well,
make me annoyed.
Nosferatu. Let's just say Nosferatu,
Okay,
because
Nosferatu.
that's a good example, and you've seen that.
Yeah.
But Nosferatu, you know, is the classic vampire tale that's been more modernized to be like, oh, this is fucking terrifying when you frame it in the right way.
Yes.
And this is no different, but with a witch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got. I was telling you, and I might have told you, but I know I for sure told Justin. This gave me very like Grimm's Tales.
Yeah. Grimm's Fairy Tales.
Grimm's Fairy Tales vibe, and that like the children literally rip her apart at the end.
At the end.
And it's the funniest
wonderful.
scene.
It's the best scene it's one of the best scenes in the movie. And it's like someone on Twitter posted yesterday night, like just saw Weapons. The final scene in this film, the final act of this film had my theater on their feet clapping and
Yeah.
like with thunderous applause. Like this was the end of democracy. This
Yes.
movie. Like
I'm glad we're
that's a Star
finally
Wars
getting
joke.
villains that are fucking just evil. Like, you know how
Yeah,
for a
she
long
was
time we've
genuinely
had
just fucking.
like villains that are like, oh, you know, he's bad because his dad beat him or whatever. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong,
They're
compelling
trying
villains
to-
are good,
yeah,
but
no,
like
it's great
just
when the villain
fucking
is evil.
villains
Yeah.
for like no fucking reason. They're just evil.
That's why you need. Oh, I don't want to say
it's
that.
so good. What? What are you gonna say? Say it, man. Spit
You
it
want me
out.
to say it?
Yes.
That's why you need to watch The Penguin.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's not a spoiler for that.
That's definitely why you need
I
to watch
get. I definitely get that vibe from Colin Farrell.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that
Yeah.
show. It's so crazy to me that my Batman friend, you're my Batman
yeah,
friend. Like, you're my friend in
Well,
lots
that's
of
the thing.
regards, but you are
I'm
primarily.
your Batman friend, but I'm not your Penguin friend. You know what I mean? I'm not
Penguin is
sitting here giving
Batman.
Penguin.
It is very
updates.
much a Batman property.
It is, sure, but you know,
It's
I'm more
taking
worried
place.
about the Cape Crusader himself, dude.
Right.
I could watch any show from the last 10 years and Batman not be in it, and I get the same thing from it. The Batman's not in Penguin either, is he?
I cannot.
He's like in like the last two
I
episodes or
cannot
something like that.
confirm nor deny
And it's
any
like probably like a
information.
blurry shot. It's probably not even Robert Pattinson.
I have nothing to say to that.
It's something. It's something
There are
silly like that.
characters.
It's probably his boots.
There are characters
Like his
that cross
boots step
over.
onto the frame, and
There
they're
are
like, "Oh, there's
characters in the
Batman."
show that cross over,
And then
but
the
we're not
shows.
talking about Batman. Right now.
Sorry.
But in that vein,
Fuck
evil.
that type of characterization. By the way, I hate when superhero shows do that. The first episode, the first season of Supergirl.
Hey, we're talking about it.
I know.
We're talking about it.
But I'm gonna bring it back to this. The first season of Supergirl
He's not going to bring it back to this.
has Superman in it, but they didn't have an actor cast for him, so they just show his boots and then
Right.
him from a distance as a shadow.
Right.
Fuck that. Anyways.
How'd that have anything to do with this?
Well, it takes me out of the movie. Where like this is like that framing that I was talking about from earlier at the beginning part of the movie, where they don't show a character, but done horribly. They're just done where like you can tell they didn't have the budget for who they wanted to cast, and they just had to rely either on special effects or some fucking pair of boots. This movie has the actors physically there and chooses not to show them for a long time. Also, Wong's the principal.
Benedict Wong does play the principal. His name is Marcus.
Yeah, he's
in the
incredible.
show. He is incredible. He really, genuinely, he steals every
He's a
season.
good actor. Like
He's a great
I knew
actor.
he was
He's
a good actor, but like seeing him just like be like just a gay principal in this movie, I was like, oh, this is nice. Also, like it's been a while since we've been in school, but just like feeling the whole like listening to them talking about, well, they were doing this because the kids feel a certain type of way, and everybody's feeling strong emotions, and we don't want like people to.
Are you talking about at the assembly?
Yeah, like at the assembly and all the school scenes. Like, I get what they're doing, but also like it kind of felt like I just felt like they didn't talk that same way when we were in school. You know what I mean?
Well, we were 5. These are little kids.
I guess.
These are third graders.
Well, I mean, I'm just
We were
talking about
7,
like
we were
the
8.
school.
It didn't feel like that because we didn't understand what was
Yeah.
going on. That's all schools. Schools
I
are
guess.
a community.
No, I'm not
To the
complaining
adults,
about it. I'm not complaining
I understand.
about it.
Let me
Yeah,
just say
yeah.
my thing. Schools to adults are just the place that you're trusting other adults to raise
Yeah,
your
yeah,
kids
yeah.
when they're at school learning stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm
that's
not
just school in
complaining
general.
about it. I'm not
That's-
complaining about it. I just thought it was interesting. They were very like focused on like and not just with the kids, but like the adults too, like talking them through their feelings.
Well, yeah, well, that's again
Yeah.
a tragedy took place.
Yeah,
It happens
yeah.
every time there's a shooting, a tragedy, some ridiculous event like that.
I don't know,
and
just something about it
17 kids disappearing out of one class is a
Oh, yeah,
particularly
yeah, yeah.
ridiculous scenario in which
Yeah.
you would need a lot of
I don't know,
counseling.
something about it just really like
They definitely make an effort to say like
it made
shit
it
like
feel
this
more
is bad
real
for
to
you.
me is what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. Like because like I feel like typically, and I don't know if it's just because I've watched like the last like kind of related to this thing that I've seen is Stranger Things, where like it's like a school setting during the 80s, and they kind of just like, I mean, I think the school like says maybe one or two things about Will Bowers. Is it Bowers?
Yeah,
While
well,
he's-
Byers.
Byers
Byers, Will
while he's
Byers.
when he first vanishes, and that's it. Like in this, they're like, we've got counselors on hand to like coach the students and the parents and all sort of stuff. Like it felt very nice that they really built out like what modern school probably feels like and what they're doing with kids. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It immersed me more is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk shit on it. I'm sure somebody
understand.
somewhere is like, oh, it's too woke, gay principal. Don't like it.
Oh, on weapons? I
Yeah.
don't know. This was the.
I
I'm
guarantee
not gonna stay on that.
I guarantee you somebody's gonna.
Of
do
course, sure,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't. That's just dumb. I don't.
Yeah, but it's really funny to read those.
It's
comments.
inclusivity to me, and it always is like it's always my example because it's done so well. In Deadpool Part 2, when Negasonic Teenage Warheads got a girlfriend.
Oh, cool, you had a girlfriend.
She just has a girlfriend, and then they don't address it. In this movie, it's very similar. Like, you just see a gay couple. No one ever says that it's what it is.
But
it's
I'm just saying, like, it's done well here where it feels like it immerses you more. All of it. Like, all the stuff
I
that I
didn't
could
think
hear
about it.
people-
Here's how well it's immersed. I didn't think about it until you brought it up in the review.
Well, no.
I just was like, oh, a couple.
I only bring it up because, like, I was, like, noticing, I was like, okay, this is feeling, like, very, like, realistic, very, like, immersive. You know, I'm enjoying how this is presented.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. I feel like I'm losing you.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about stuff that has nothing to do with the movie anymore.
Well, no. I know. I'm just like I'm trying to praise how the filmmakers made it because I like how quickly you can get sucked into this.
Yeah. No.
Like
from the get go, you're sucked
for
in immediately. This is this movie perfects the thesis statement.
But like the teacher lady, that's the most teacher that's ever taught.
What?
You get like
no, you're losing me hard.
As soon as she comes on screen, like she's every English teacher I've ever met. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah, she's an
and
actor.
I mean that in the best way.
She's playing a marginalized, not marginalized. She's playing a very normalized character,
and like
it's a teacher.
She's like getting fucked up because like all this stuff has happened and people blame her for it, and like it's good. It's good. It's good.
It's
shit.
great.
I
agree.
Like it. Yeah.
You can stop saying it. Let's get on to the rest of the movie. You've said it 7 different ways now.
Han Solo's in this movie.
Han Solo is in this movie.
And Charlie didn't know who he was for like half the movie.
No, I knew it was him. I just right away with the mustache, I was like, man, I could be wrong and that not be him, but I'm pretty sure it's him.
He had like a Tom Selleck thing kind of going on.
He did.
Right?
He looked. They did a good. It's crazy. He's one of those actors right now that is like quietly becoming a like giant character in film. Like he's slowly but surely been in like these giant franchises and giant like moments in cinema of the year. I mean, he's a main character in Oppenheimer. He's a main character in this.
Is he in Oppenheimer?
Yeah, he's Robert Downey Jr.'s lawyer. He's the lawyer
really?
guy.
That's him.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
He's in Star Wars. I mean, he's fucking Han Solo. The
Yeah,
guy is quiet, and he's like,
There's something else
he's like
I saw
in his
him
30s
recently, and I was like, oh, he's doing a good job.
Yeah, I was trying to think. There's definitely another one that I can't remember.
It came out like
he's in
this year because I was like, oh, Han Solo, you know.
Yeah, what the fuck is it? Because it's pissing me off.
He doesn't look anything like
he never does. It's genius. He's
great.
He's very moldable. He's a very moldable guy.
I really wish he'll come back to play Han Solo or Indiana Jones in like a reboot. That
it would be so funny if he was Indiana Jones, only because he also played Han. It's so funny that is just that idea is that he just becomes Harrison Ford.
And then like years later when they do a remake of Air Force One, like he's the president.
That would be
Fugitive.
Great.
He's in that too. You know.
The cast of this film,
No Country for Old Men,
is the ensemble from this film is glorious.
Dude, Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin there's moments. I didn't think in this movie that until I saw that tweet last night, I did not go into this movie thinking like, this is going to be a great like audience film to watch with like an audience of people.
No, horror movies are always the best.
There are 3 moments in this film where our entire audience came together as like a unified force of like, that was amazing, or like laugh out loud hilarious moment. And really there's only one like haha moment in the movie.
The climax,
and it's only haha because of the audience. At home you would just be like, real, like, agreed, but you wouldn't like laugh the way that we all did.
The climax of this movie is so well done.
It's so rewarding.
So tight. So rewarding. It's like your first time with a woman. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
so tight,
that's not what it's like.
I heard tight, and I was like, I gotta make.
You said that.
Joke,
that's the worst part. No, I don't. That's not why you make those jokes.
This movie, like the ending climax, there's like this scene where, they go into the house where this old lady has been like staging everything and getting ready to leave because like the heat's getting too hot and she's getting ready to leave. And Josh Brolin and the teacher lady show up, and she has these salt lines where if you cross them, it triggers the cop that's been turned into like a zombie servant thing, and the stoner guy that's been turned into a zombie servant thing. The lady goes towards the cop because she knows him and triggers the salt, and so does the
it triggers both of them.
Josh Brolin also, it triggers both of them.
Yeah,
and the stoner guy is like this,
Hold on, let's hold on. You're skipping a lot of info here.
I just want to get to Josh Brolin just beating the fuck
I know,
out.
I know. We're gonna get there. Let me just like contextually explain what happened for anyone listening to this, because it's just babbling at this
I know. Well, we just saw it, so it is our wrong.
Just stop. You gotta stop interrupting me. You gotta let me say a whole sentence. Yeah. This witch controls people with a tree that is obviously, by the way that they frame it, some sort of magic tree. Yes. When she rips the branches off, the tree has thorns on it. If she cuts her thumb, or if she cuts her hand, she needs her blood on this branch, and it gives her control.
In their hair.
I know, Creighton. You gotta let me do it. I get you. There's a way to expel the information. You can't just keep jutting it in there. You gotta lay it out, like all the information on the table. There's a branch. When she puts her blood on it, it seems to activate it as in a way that she will now be in control of what's about to happen. She then has to put something that belongs to someone else, be that their hair, an item of theirs, something. And if it's her blood and their thing is added at the second, and she breaks that branch, or she activates that branch, she rings a bell. The bell activates whatever this magic is and turns whoever has binded to that branch with her blood into her like weird metaphysical servant person that just knows what she wants them to do. There's not like a command. They just do what she wants. In this, she uses this method to take control of Benedict Wong's character and have him kill his husband.
Yes.
And then has him go and hunt Julia Garner's character. This is the scene that establishes the magic system and how this magic works and how this woman has controlled all of these people, if you're paying attention. Then, in the final scene, Julia Garner and Josh Brolin have quietly put together, like they have puzzle pieced this mystery and realized where it all is culminating, and it's at Alex, the little kid's house. Alex's parents are somehow this crazy witch lady's like niece and nephew, pseudo something or another. And it is kind of implied that she's been doing this for, 100 years, hundreds of years. Who knows how old this fucking witch lady is. But it is simply inferred that she does this. If it's one family or 50 families, we don't know how old she really is. But very much like Entangled with the fucking godmother or whatever her fucking name is, the witch in that movie, she is using people as her like fountain of youth. And just having them under her control lets her live and thrive in this world. Excuse me. So when she moves here, it is because more than likely she has lost control of whatever, group of children / parents / whatever she has had control of in the past that have been given her life. She first takes control of Alex's parents.
Them.
Huh?
Or she drained them.
Yeah, or just drained them.
Exactly,
yeah. Basically, they just withered away and died, and she needs new life. So first, she just takes control of Alex's parents and just takes the two of them and is living at the house. And Alex is going to school. And then slowly she tells Alex, hey, I'm going to need more people because I'm getting weaker and I need help. And she colludes Alex into her plan and basically tells him,
if you don't help me, I'll make your parents
each
other.
That's just in the beginning of when she's explaining her powers to him or showing what she's capable of. He says that she tells him she'll leave because he tells her, I'll do this if it means you're going to leave now.
Yeah, I think it's.
Will you let my parents go?
Implication,
he wants his parents back. He's sad that his parents are.
But the implication is
of.
that she thinks, I think initially, that the parents are going to be enough to sustain her. And they're not.
and it's not.
And so she pulls Alex to the side and is like, "Hey, bro, listen.
I need a bunch of kids.
I know some weird shit's been going on, but bring me your class and I'll leave.
And then just doesn't leave.
Yeah,
she's just taking advantage of Alex.
Yeah.
Now all that is to get us to the salt line thing. It seems that this salt line that they cross activates her wishes. Yeah. Like there's like a it's like a trigger for what happened with Benedict Wong's character.
She has different ways to trigger them.
Exactly.
And the
salt is one of the it's one of the triggers.
I'm sure there's probably more. Like if she was alive.
There are two salt lines. One is in front of her bedroom door, and the parents are there, and whoever triggers
she can
that.
Teleport.
Huh?
She can teleport.
I don't think she can teleport. I think that she just. There's a time dilation there where like Alex comes home and then he goes to his room and you don't know what she's doing. She just leaves that room. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she can teleport. I think much like a lot of the other moments in the story, she just goes away because you're not aware of how long has passed. I don't think he came home, saw the salt line, and Julia Garner and Josh Brolin walked in 20 seconds later, like you see in the film. I think here's what the setting is. Now what's about to happen, and it might be an hour later, 2 hours later. All he knows is it's time. Like I just got home from school, and now we're like packing up to leave.
Yeah,
and then the events unfold the way they do. Julia Garner and Josh Brolin walk inside, and there are salt lines downstairs. And on either end of the house is the fucking crackhead. There's a crackhead. We're not going to get into his character.
Yes.
Some of this is not. We're not spoiling everything. But there's a crackhead kid who was a big part of one part of the story, and then there's the cop.
Yes.
The cop is a much bigger part of the story, played by Han Solo.
Yes. Him and the teacher have a pre-established relationship.
Yes.
By the way, that's important for what you're about to say.
Yes. So Julia Garner crosses the salt line, and Josh Brolin sees it in the final moments.
He's like, wait,
don't do it. And then she does, and both of the fucking zombified characters run and chase them down. Julia Garner gets chased by the cop and is subdued by him. And meanwhile, in the buildup of the suspense of is he going to kill her or not, we cut to Josh Brolin, who is fighting a 120-pound meth head heroin addict.
Josh Brolin, fucking Brick House. Josh Brickhouse Brolin.
Just ragdolls this kid across the house.
He keeps knocking him out. And
the audience laughed out loud 15 times. And he punches him and knocks him out 7 times.
I don't think it would be.
And then when he stands up and walks away, the kid just body runs at him and gets ragdolled across the house 5 times.
I don't think it would be as funny without the juxtaposition being like she's like struggling to like hold her own against Han Solo, and it cuts back to Josh Brolin just like fucking ragdolling this guy and being like, Matthew, like looking for his son. Like this is a minor inconvenience. 2 different rooms by the way. Like he's not across the room from Julia Garner watching her just pretty much die.
Yeah, it's happening on like different parts of the floor.
You get it, by the way, good sense of layout for the house. Like, you kind of know where everything is.
You have an incredible understanding of where everything is.
I think them being able to do that with the camera, like, because they kind of set up this house throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, this house is very slowly, meticulously shown
Alex's
to you.
house, by the way.
Alex's house is very slowly, meticulously shown to you throughout the entire story. And I think, if I remember correctly, through every single character's perspective.
Is it really?
It's close. Like a little brief moment of it.
Maybe not Marcus's.
In one way or another. With Archer, or you're right, it wouldn't have been through Marcus. But with Marcus,
everybody else,
With everybody else, because even through Archer, you see on paper, you just don't know that that's the house yet. Yeah. When he's lining it out.
Where it's at
on the map.
relative to everything else.
Yeah. Because he's trying to map it out.
Going there, and then also the junkie breaks into the house at one point, and like
funny.
You get a very good sense of where that's like the first time you see it.
That's where you really see the whole inside of the house.
The first time you see it is Julia Garner is following Alex because they won't let her talk to him. And she like follows him home, and he just goes inside the house, and the house just has newspaper all over the windows, like blocking out light. Which I didn't fully understand that.
So nobody would see the inside of the house.
Oh, it's just for that?
Yeah, it's literally so nobody sees what's going on. Okay. These 2 parents are never leaving. They haven't left the house in a month.
See, to me it would,
like mini months at a certain point.
But anyways,
they're just eating camel noodle soup and fucking shitting on themselves.
She puts up this newspaper and stuff, and like Julia Garner is like, "What the fuck is happening?" And like goes around the house looking, and she looks into like a little crack in the window, and she sees the parents just fucking sitting there staring at the wall. That scene was pretty.
That was a tough one.
I thought something was going to happen.
Yeah, no, they trick you, and like it's also very meticulously formatted. So that happens. She sees them. She freaks out. She knocks over a shovel. Think about the layout of the house. What's above her?
The old lady.
The old lady's room.
Yeah.
When you go up the stairs, if you're looking to the right, guys, this is so inside baseball. Having just seen this movie, so I apologize.
That's how well though we know the
layout of this house is so very geniusly laid out to you.
You will know it.
You'll know what we're talking about if you watch this movie, or you'll know by the time thinking about it if you've already seen the movie.
Yeah.
So, if you're walking up the stairs of this house, if you're on the stairs, at the top of the stairs looking into the hallway, to the right is Alex's room, to the left is his parents' room. In front of you is like a guest bedroom that you're not really totally meant to know what's going on in there. In the beginning of the movie, that's where, whatever the fuck her name is, the witch, that's where she's meant to be. She's meant to be in that room. Eventually, she makes her way into the parents' room, but both of those rooms have windows facing the back of the house.
Yes.
That you see when you at certain points in the movie. Julia Garner knocks over a shovel. Later in the story, later in the perspective of Julia Garner's character, she's laying in her car, and the mom comes outside and cuts her hair while she's sleeping because she's drunk from having looked at this.
Yeah.
How was the lady supposed to know that? Because
Yeah.
she knocked the shovel over and she looked outside and saw her.
Well,
you never
and
see that.
that's
But if you
true.
put the pieces together, that's obviously
but
what
they-
had to have happened,
They
because
kind of
how else does she know?
They kind of allude to this older lady kind of having like mind powers, like being able to like being more perceptive than just visual. You know, I don't know. We don't know how far it goes.
Well, again, I think it's only because she has access, because that happens. That dream sequence, nightmare happens after that, after she has been to that house.
No.
Are you
talking
sure?
about? Yeah, no, it's before that.
I don't think so.
No, it's definitely before that because that's the reason she goes. She gets fucked up after cop dude and her sleep together. And she goes home. She's all depressed and stuff because she feels like cop dude used her. She falls asleep. She has this nightmare about the house, not about the house, but
About Alex.
about the kids and Alex.
And then
it's implied she's worried about Alex becoming one of them.
Yeah.
So she goes back to the house the next day and tries to talk to Alex. Or no, this might be after she tried to talk to him. She goes back after this and just sits outside the house and looks for movement and gets fucked up while she's sitting there and then falls asleep. And that's when the thing happens with the hair. And that's the end of her story.
See, this is a movie that will definitely warrant and definitely be
rewatch,
rewarding to have a second
But
watch.
the lady definitely shows up before she goes to the house, like in her dream. And if I'm not mistaken, she shows up in Josh Brolin's dreams before he even starts putting together which direction. the
Yeah,
kid
that's
went.
definitely like the first half
Yeah.
of his story.
So that's why I'm like, I think this lady has some kind of mental influence or mental intuition, because she definitely knows.
I mean, she is a witch.
Well, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
definitely,
That's
like,
what I'm saying, and I don't
spelled out
know
to
if
you.
it's like if she's able to read the minds of those she's controlling with the sticks, or if it's something like she can spread her influence. Because even the stoner guy. The stoner guy sees her out in the woods.
Well, I think that was real. I think that was
she
just
was
her.
she came,
I think she was, because that's the first time you actually see her in the movie. Like,
and she waves at him.
yeah, like not counting the dream sequences,
Yeah.
she's waving, and I think she's very much just right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that is meant to be our
But-
true introduction to the character,
But I think
because
she knew
then you
stoner
see her
guy.
then you see her in the principal's office. You're like, that is that bitch in the
Yeah,
woods,
yeah.
bro. What?
She has like this she looks like Wendy's, but like an old hag Wendy.
Yeah,
like
she's
from
very
Wendy's.
scary looking, creepy.
And it's a bad wig. Like, it's a
Yeah, it's
terrible
not
wig.
meant to be a good wig by any means.
But she's honestly really funny looking, but also
yeah.
like.
Well, and
terrifying.
again, she's kind of meant to be
yes.
like gross and scary.
It kind of
looking.
reminds me of Hansel and Gretel a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole
I guess,
story,
yeah.
like the witch eating the kids,
Yeah.
everything. But the God, I was going to say something else about. I think she was going to get the stoner guy, but she ended up like seeing that the cop was there and like having either the mental intuition that the cop couldn't just take him to the police station.
Yeah.
And like decided to go investigate himself and knew that she could take advantage of it on home turf.
Yeah.
He is in there for a long time though, so I don't know what that's about.
Who?
The cop.
You
Because
mean
it's daylight
before
when he
comes
goes
and
in
gets the kid.
Yeah, he's.
I think that is to have there be as little potential for someone seeing it as possible.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like everything.
That's
Everything that happens with her, everything happens
Yeah.
at night.
That's
she
probably
only
true.
ever abducts people at night unless they're literally in the house.
Except for
first.
Wong. She sent Wong out in broad daylight to kill.
Yes, but that's because there's no attachment to her.
Yeah.
Anything happening at the house, you realize her plan is falling
People
apart
think
at
he
the end
just
because
snaps,
stuff's happening
yeah.
at the house. There's a cop car outside.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you said. Like, the day of it happening out, the car being outside, and the story ending is a day.
Yeah.
Because she understands, like, something.
over.
It's
The
over
heat's
now.
on,
Like,
yeah.
the heat's too much on us. We gotta get out of here.
The ending is incredible. So the fucking
The
Alex,
little kid crosses
Alex
a salt
response.
line at the same time that Julia Garner and Josh Brolin cross the salt
Yes.
When he crosses the salt line,
The
he runs
parents
to
run
his
at
room and hides from them, and they straight up, like, here's
the
Johnny
door
style,
down,
start
yeah.
busting the door down.
Yeah.
But, like you've seen in the rest of the film, there's a bathroom that connects his room to the middle room.
Yes.
And
So
he
you
hides
know-
in there. And he goes door after door and then runs into his parents' room where she has been fucking hoarding her witch shit,
Yeah.
grabs the branch that everyone's shit is attached to, covers it with his own blood in their bathroom while they're trying to get
Yeah.
in,
'Cause
and
he's seen
grabs
her
her.
do it.
He has seen her do it because she explained to him
Yeah.
how she does it. And he
She's like,
grabs
"Watch
her wi-
this."
Yeah, and he grabs her wig and the branch, runs in the bathroom,
Finds her real hair through the wig.
finds her real hair through the wig, locks the door, and does this ritual to himself as Josh Brolin is holding Julia Garner, where the witch lady is literally going to walk in very triumphantly and explain what's been happening, and then presumably probably kill both of them.
Try to
Try and kill them, or just control them.
Yeah, probably control them.
And then take them with her. And
At least Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin's a tank. Dude.
Yeah.
Like,
And during-
by the time she turns that tank on, what's her name?
on Julia Garner's character,
On Julia Garner. Like,
Yeah.
it's over.
it's like you can tell, like, oh, if this kid wasn't such a genius and
Yeah.
loved his parents,
And
this was totally she was going to
Here's
win.
the thing. I don't think the kid knew that if she died, the spell would be broken. I
Yeah.
think the kid was just cool with sacrificing himself if it meant,
Potentially.
like, just killing
Yeah.
this old lady.
Yeah, because she's just clearly evil.
So
and
he
hates
breaks
her.
the stick with her hair on it, and
And-
all the kids from the basement come running up the stairs, and she looks at the camera and goes, "Yikes!" And holds
She
up that
literally
little
she
sign,
goes,
like
"Oh
Roadrunner.
no!"
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh no!" and then runs out the house.
Yes.
And
Is screaming.
the unbelievable. This is one of the greatest scenes. In,
By the way, there's another time jump because it's like it's nighttime when they're going in, but when they're coming out, it's daylight.
I don't think it's like nighttime. No,
So what is it? Then?
It's
Is
just
it, you think
it's
it's
just
early morning?
maybe.
It's just weird because it's
it
like
be
definitely either twilight or early morning when they go in, and then it's
They're in the
broad daylight when they're
hospital. So yeah, maybe it has been a minute. Maybe it was like
Yeah.
becoming daytime.
Yeah.
Because she did. Yeah, you know what? Because that would also reinforce the idea that it's been a while. Because the night before,
She's like, "We're leaving."
the kid comes home
Yeah.
and he says, "Pack your bags, we're leaving."
Yeah, yeah.
And so I guess it has just
It's been at
presumably
least a long
been
night.
a few hours.
We need
yeah.
to rewatch it again to get the exact.
Yeah, there's definitely
timeline
some
down.
timeline
But it's
stuff
so
that's
it's
rough.
broad daylight when she comes running out the door, and I thought it was nighttime.
She
So like
runs
all
out of
the
this
kids,
She runs out of this house, and I will say this is the only time in the film that I think the movie doesn't take itself seriously anymore. It realizes time to be a wacko, almost a Scream style movie.
Yeah.
Where these kids, like the zombies in World War Z, flood out of this house through the windows,
it
just break
feels
every
like more
window.
than 17 kids.
Yeah, it feels like it's 70 kids.
Yeah.
And they just fly through these houses. This witch lady just runs through house after house. She just opens doors.
She's trying to
runs
get as
through-
many barriers between her and the
and
kids
these
as
children
possible to slow them down.
and these
so she
kids
can get
just
away.
like a tornado rip through houses,
Yeah.
rip through doors, climb over fences,
Yeah.
and they chase this lady down. And one little
I think
thug
it's the
kid,
girl that Josh Brolin goes and visits. her
maybe
family.
one little girl fucking like Jason Bourne's through houses and fences and just annihilates this old lady. Just fucking monkey clings to her back, gets her on the ground, and these kids, when they dogpile this lady, they rip her
Apart.
limb from limb. It's like the dude in Monty Python who gets his arms and legs chopped off. He's like,
yeah.
I can do this. It's just a flesh wound. Like she is ripped.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Tis but a flesh wound. She gets ripped apart. Her top of her skull ripped off the bottom of her skull.
Yeah.
They like eat her, start to eat her, rip her apart until the spell like vanquishes, and the spell
Her
is no
dying
longer.
kill-
Her
like,
dying like
really
kills her spell.
kills the spell, yeah.
Presumably,
Yeah.
and it is so funny. It is so fun. The scene is totally written to be hilarious.
Yeah.
It is not in any way. We're no longer in a horror sequence.
Yeah.
We are now in like a comedy.
Yeah.
For one scene of this movie.
And like, there's like one part where this guy's cutting grass, and like he's like, "What the fuck is that noise?" And he like looks, and it's
And
like,
just
it's an old lady just running by,
and then
like,
17 children
It reminds me
screaming.
a lot of those guys like that Vine from back in the day where they're like, "Oh," like running down the hallway.
Yeah.
And then it's like a little duck chasing them.
Yeah,
And then
it's
they
amazing.
come back, and there's
It's
a
so
little guy.
good. It was absolutely incredible. The movie is incredible. It is so good. I loved it a lot.
Solid ending.
There's a reason. Look, I knew that I had to go see this movie because of two things. Not only you guys wanted me to go see it, three things. You guys wanted me to see it so bad, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go." When I went on Twitter last night, I saw two things. The first thing was a guy who said, just saw weapons. My entire audience stood and clapped.
Yeah.
That
Our audience clapped.
Our audience stood and clapped and cheered and laughed. It was amazing. But it was the reviews. Horror movies, sci-fi movies, and fucking comic book movies all suffer from one giant dilemma in the Hollywood world and critic world, and that's that they all get panned. None of them get good ratings. Very rarely do the horror movies get like stellar ratings from the critics. The audiences always love them because the audience that goes and sees it usually wants it, you know. So most of the time, these movies get a pretty good audience score as well as based on a whatever critic score. 40 critics watched this movie and it had 100% rating.
Yeah.
This movie is, and I mean, as far as like a story being put together, it has no loose ends. There's 0 loose ends in this movie. Everything is explained. Everything is wrapped up with a nice little bow, and everything is so satisfying.
It's a good movie.
It is so good. And then, oh god, the thing I was the most worried about, I think, was the performances. Only because in the trailers you get so little. You get so little from the characters. You know nothing about any of the characters.
For the most part, them saying like the trailers, the first 15 minutes is mostly true.
The first 2 minutes of the film is the trailer.
Yeah, there's
literally
like 2
shot for
scenes
shot
that I can think of, and really one scene is only coming out with more recent trailers, but the scene with the kids coming out of the house and chasing her.
Yeah, that's
in the trailer. But it's done in such a way that it doesn't really give anything.
And you can't tell they're kids in the trailer. In the trailer, it's like so quick that I don't think you're thinking it's children.
You're not focused on
someone
who
else
they're chasing either.
You have no idea who they're
chasing. What
chasing.
happening?
Yeah, it's very...
and it also, you
go
can't
watch
tell
the
if
trailer.
it's...
She's dying in the trailer.
Yeah.
Her getting ripped apart is in the trailer.
Also, you can't tell either that if it's a dream sequence or not, because in the trailer you can see very clearly that's a dream sequence where she's walking into the classroom and like seeing all the like kids with their heads down and stuff, and the one wakes up and smiles. Like that's a dream sequence. You know?
Yeah, in the movie and in the trailer, and again in the trailer, when that scene happens and she wakes up and freaks out, the only thing missing is the music.
Becky said the one thing that took her out of the movie was the scene where Josh Brolin's dreaming and there's a gun above the house with a clock.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I think it was a little on the nose because I think it's like his mind perceiving like a weapon and like, because this is what I'm saying. It feels like she was sending out some kind of like telepathic signals and his mind was perceiving, oh, this is a weapon, but it's his mind interpreting what a weapon is to him. Yeah. And like the meaning of the clock and everything. Like I think 2:17 was just a random time. She just happened to be finishing.
Yeah, it just happened at 2:17.
Yeah,
it had no real meaning.
So I think it was like a meeting of like his like interpretation of the time.
He's interpreting the clues he's put together and seeing it in a visual representation in his mind. Exactly. I think that's very much all that is meant to be. And her popping up in their dreams is the only thing that I'm like, I don't. It's not a loose end. It's not like a mystery. I get that she could just be metaphysical, but then why didn't she do it to literally everyone?
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. We only see these characters' perspectives. Yeah. So we don't know if she's having any kind of psychological influence on everybody that was involved, at least with the kids.
I really love...
The principal wasn't really involved except that he's the principal, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, well, that and that she, like, had to... It was, like, it's the heat getting on him. Like, that is the, that is the kind of the fulcrum for everything.
He was doing the welfare check for the dad, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why.
Well, just for the parents in general.
Yeah.
I think one of the greatest things about this movie to me is most horror movies, there's always a moment, and one of them for me was when the door just opened and the cop just waves them in. Oh, yeah. And they get out of the car. I almost went, this is the shit that black people get mad at white people for. This is white people shit.
It's a weird wave.
It's a weird wave, and no one ever in their right mind is going to get out and go to this house and do this.
The door freaked me out every time it opened.
Every time it opens, it's
like,
scary. Who's opening the door?
It opens, and it's just a black hole. And you have no idea what's coming out.
All lights are off.
And, like, the very first time it happens, like, it's when the little kid's going inside, and it opens up, and he just goes in a
after they didn't come pick him up from school.
Yeah, and it's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Well, no, I'm talking about the very first time when she follows him home. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you still don't know really anything at that point. And then the second time, it's truly terrifying. Is like when she passes out in the car the door opens and the lady just staggers out with a fucking
It
blade.
is so scary.
And like she comes to the
My
door.
heart rate, I looked at my watch.
Yeah.
I was like, my resting right now is like, I'm in the 80s.
The terrifying
I was
part,
at 117.
the camera's in the passenger seat, right?
Yes.
And so like she comes to
I
the door.
couldn't hear that scene.
Instead of her trying to open the driver door, she goes around the car and you don't see her, and your camera just stays like locked. Your camera's shot
Locked
stays
on
locked
Julia
on
Garner.
Julia Garner, sitting in the fucking passenger. You're like, dude, let me out of this fucking car right now.
And
you
then-
hear the back door open
Yep.
from the other side behind the camera that you can't see, and just scissors come out.
Scissors
And
come
clip
from
hair.
the back of the car and just clip Julia Garner's hair
And
quietly.
that's it.
And then they pull the hair out.
Then it
and then,
goes Archer.
and then Archer. And then it's the next character's perspective. It's
Oh.
fucking terrifying. I picked a really scary seat to sit into this podcast because I can see the edge of the front door from here, like very thinly
Yeah.
when I get all the way back, and I only start to see it as it disappears. And so I'm just sitting here like waiting for something scary to happen. We're
anyways.
also filming this in
Oh yeah, the new studio area.
well, it's a new business for me and my roommate, and there will be times that we use it as the podcast recording studio because it is not a house that either of us live in.
Yes.
And it makes it a little easier. And there will be better. I'm sure this episode probably sounds a little echoier than previous
Other ones, yeah.
And we apologize for that. There was one other thing I wanted to say. Oh, what was it? Hold on. Let me think while you type to someone.
Sorry.
You're good. It was about Benedict Wong's character. I wanted to say something about
He's
him.
gay.
Well, that doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with the story at all.
I'm sorry, he's blind.
There you go. He's blind. What is it? He's not blind, by the way.
No, I know. That was just
For-
a
for
bit
anyone
from
listening.
like the.
I know it's a joke.
Everest. He's gay. Oh, excuse me. He's blind. Sorry, that's an old news article or not article. Soundbite.
Oh, him being reasonable and the characters in the film being reasonable. No one is ridiculous in this film but the meth head. The meth head and the
Yeah,
cop
I
who's
mean,
been
that's very
implicated with the
fitting,
meth head
yeah.
are the only characters that act out. And so that was the reason that that scene where they both get out of the car is the only time where I'm like, this is the ridiculous thing to do. And the only reason it could be explained to me that it's not is because she does know Paul.
Well,
and she has no reason to believe anything crazy is
Paul,
happening.
and he's desperate for answers.
Exactly. So it makes
and
sense.
they both are by that
Now,
point because
with that said,
they're
the
like,
movie-
"What the fuck? Wong just
Yeah.
attacked me."
Yeah. With this movie a few times does this genius thing where it shows you the scenario happening in public and everyone treating it rationally.
Yes.
When Wong has been taken control of and is just running across town to go kill Julia Garner, he passes like 25 people, and every time everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? Everyone is freaking out.
Yeah.
At the end, when the old lady runs through the house and the kids run through the house, everyone's like, what the fuck? And then when Josh Brolin follows the chaos, they're freaking out because now there's a man in the house and everyone's reacting appropriately. This movie, everyone reacts in this film the way you're supposed to. The movie is written so well, and the ridiculousness of the situation is portrayed so well that there's not a moment in this film that is portrayed in a way where I would not believe that that's how it would happen.
I wonder.
It is the most grounded, magical horror movie that I've ever seen.
I wonder what's gonna what the.
Very similar to Get Out
with
and Tangled, hilariously, by the way.
I wonder what the fallout of all this is gonna be for them.
What do you mean?
Like I was wondering what's gonna happen to Julie Garner's character.
After having just killed 2 people?
Yeah, because I mean, like out of context, like the police show up.
Well, they were both attacked.
They see a dead
and-
cop.
Yeah.
They see like a dead junkie. And
The
they see a
parents are
dead
alive,
old
though.
lady who was ripped apart by kids.
Exactly. And it's the
The
little
questions.
girl. The questions are ridiculous.
And then
yeah.
like for the little kid to be like, "There's a magic tree," because he's the only one out of those 3 that really knows. I mean, they know something's going on, but they don't have really.
Well,
like,
you've
a
also
true
had
idea.
Benedict Wong. The reason she has to leave is that the pieces are starting to come out that you could put this story together. Now, the ridiculousness and the nature of the story is so ridiculous that putting it together doesn't really answer questions of why or how. It just answers, I guess this is what happened.
I just don't
But it's ridiculous.
see-
It's not meant to be a movie that has a...
No, I know.
You know-
I'm just thinking about I guess that's a testament to how immersed you get in this movie. But I was just thinking about there's no way that they're still not going to blame her for this because
Yeah, there is. Yeah, because you have witnesses with Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin's a witness, and he was just attacked also.
Oh yeah, and he was her biggest hater.
And he was the biggest hater, and he sees now that something else was happening.
Dude was
And
thinking-
again, Alex can literally tell them what happened.
yeah, but he's a kid, and people
Sure.
aren't going to believe him.
Doesn't matter if they don't believe him when it comes down to the events that take place. Like, this is a silly direction to take, but like, let's for a second look at the implications of what went down and who was involved.
That's true.
A meth head, the cop that only one person in the world knows had implications with this meth head, and that's the father of the girl that the cop just cheated on. So he's not going to give a fuck, and he's going to be more leaning towards Julia Garner's character for the simple fact that has beef with this cop. Both the meth head and the cop have history that is bad, have had a bad couple of days. They're both dead, along with this old lady that the little kid is going to say had control of his parents, and all 17 kids who are all alive, who everyone's been looking for. It's all tied in a very neat bow on paper.
The other part of
with
this,
the testimony of the kid and Josh Brolin and Julia Garner.
The other part of this, too, is like the kids aren't like better right away. It is implied they get better. So Josh Brolin is under her control for like maybe 5 minutes.
If that.
And he comes back. When she dies, he comes back like right away.
And everything's fine. The kids and the parents are kind of it's inferred that they're like fucked up for a long time.
Yeah.
Like they don't talk or something's wrong for a long time after.
But like also we don't get an answer, at least from Josh Brolin's perspective, of like what it was like to be under her control. If it's like you just are there 1 minute and you're not, or if you're aware of everything you're doing but can't control yourself, which is fine, it works, but it just, it's one of those things I kind of find myself wondering. I'm like, well, are you aware? You know what I mean? Because they eat. You know what I mean? They eat.
They have to eat.
Like they're hungry. Like they know, hey, we need to like eat. Like because she has Alex feed them soup a lot.
Yeah.
But it's soup, so is he like putting it in their mouths and they're eating it as a response, or is she like commanding them to
She's probably commanding them to. I mean, I think it's again, she needs them alive so she can continue to live, I think is the idea. I think there's just like a kind of hidden, tangled style situation. Yeah. She's using all these people as like a fountain of youth.
Some of them started to talk like 2 years after?
They said a couple after a year or two. Some of them even started talking, and then that's literally how the film ends. Is the little narration girl tells you.
I think if that's the case, then my hope would be that eventually the parents are okay too.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe you never know.
She has them stab themselves.
The parents were the ones under control the longest amount of time, and it says that his parents. He lives with another aunt, a better one, and his parents, someone else feeds them. So I think it implies that they might have been under too long, and that they're kind of just vegetables now. Like they're like brain dead / not.
The dad was already kind of brain dead. He called Alex Axeman.
That's just a mean thing to say.
That's his terrible nickname.
That's not a terrible
Alex
nickname.
Alex is already a nickname himself. You don't have to add on fucking vegetable. Just hate the dad. I don't know what it was. Immediately did not like the dad.
I thought he was cool. I can't remember who she is, but the mom is in something else, and I can't remember what it is.
The mom was okay. She was terrifying. One of the best shots.
The mom, I think I'm gonna snipe because I haven't looked it up yet. I think the mom has to in real life be the sister or relative of Hank Schrader's wife in Breaking Bad. They look very similar.
The best shot in the movie is when she busts her head through and looks down at Alex.
It's fucking
wild. It's a great shot. It's like a good rival to like the "Here's Johnny" shot from The Shining. Yeah. Anyways,
what is her name? Because she looks so fucking familiar.
It's because you just saw her.
No, I mean she looks familiar anyway. She looks like I known her from something. Okay, here we go. No, I don't.
I do like that they explain the fucked up.
Alex's mom.
That their faces are fucked up. Because in the movie you see them like for the first time from the stoner's perspective, and they're kind of fucked up.
Yeah. That's the first time you really see her.
That's the first time you really see them.
Well, you like sort of you see their silhouettes.
Yeah, but
Julia
you don't
Garner's
see their faces fucked up. I thought they were kind of zombies at first. I was like, well, maybe they're going in a zombie direction. But I was like, well, they don't seem like zombies.
Yeah, they're very clearly just doing whatever she wants them to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is the fucking really scary, fucked up part.
Yeah.
when the little kid breaks the branch, and it just like, it's like you hear the bell ring.
Yeah.
Which is the best part.
Yeah.
You like hear it like as like an ode to they are now under his control.
Dude,
and it cuts to the lady and she just goes, "Oh no." And it's God.
I don't know if you were there.
It's the most satisfying villain like knowing you're about to die moment.
I don't know if you were there, but I was talking to somebody after the movie, and like throughout the movie, there's a bell ringing in the score. Like you hear a bell, like ding, you know. And I kept thinking that was somebody's phone. I was like, "What the fuck?" Who is texting during this
and you were
movie?
like, "Oh,
yeah." Like after the first time, where you see her ring the bell, like a good, like almost at the end of this movie for the first time, and that's when I was like, "Oh,
they've been tricking us.
Yes,
They've been like getting us used to this sound."
Yeah. Dude, but it's been there the whole time because, like, even at the beginning of the movie, that bell ringing is there.
Yeah,
and like you just don't hear it, like because you're not listening.
Yeah.
Anyways, any thoughts to add to it?
10 out of 10 would watch in theaters again. Honestly,
I'm 7 out of 10 still.
Yeah, I hear
it's still pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a strong 7. I'm not talking shit. It's just I've seen better horror movies.
I've gotten to where I don't judge a movie based on how much I loved it. I judge it on how good I think it was, like how the story was told, the performances. It's kind of like this is gonna sound like fucking noodle nonsense to people listening if you don't know about what I'm about to explain, but in grading cards like Pokemon or whatever, there's different grading companies. Yes. Some of them just give your card a 9 or a 9.5 or a 10 and that's it. There's one company, I can't remember what it's called, but if they give you a 9.5, they tell you why on the card. Like there's 5 ratings on it.
Yeah.
And it'll be like 10, 10, 10, 9, 9. And these two things are the reason you get a 9.5 instead of a 10. When I rate a movie, I'm kind of putting all of the things at once. The music, the score, the fucking cinematography, the writing, the directing, the performances are so fucking good in this movie. This is just one of those like all around, very Nosferatu in that the movie just has no weak points to me.
I think this movie would be better to me if I hadn't just watched Sinners. Sinners is so...
Don't say, I know.
No,
everyone is telling me Sinners is one of the greatest
So to
movies.
me, Sinners has become like the bar for like a horror movie that does like incredible character work. And this movie is doing incredible character work. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, it's very much in that same vein. And like, God, I mean, like, I kind of wish I hadn't watched Sinners yet a little bit, because then this movie would probably be higher up there for me. But because I've seen Sinners, like the market value of this movie score wise to me is like because it's the bar. It's 10 out of 10.
Two movies can be 10 out of 10s.
I'm sure. Great. No, I know, but I mean, like
Sinners is definitely meant to be a cinematic experience.
Yes,
shot in IMAX.
for sure. But so is this. So is this.
I don't think this was shot in IMAX.
No, I mean not in IMAX, but I mean it's meant to be a cinematic experience. I'm just saying, like.
Well, yes, but
in my mind, it's gonna immediately
when a film is shot in IMAX,
Yeah.
it's very much meant to be seen on that
Yeah.
giant IMAX screen. This is not a movie shot in IMAX. Meant to be, it's not that. It's not a thrilling like Sinners is.
Let me tell you what I'm not.
That's all I
excited
know about
for.
Sinners.
Let me tell you what I'm not excited for.
What?
The Conjuring: Last Rites.
I've never given a fuck about Conjuring in any.
Never given less of a fuck about a movie. And the weird part is, I actually do like the Conjuring movies, but like the horror movies that I've seen lately. I almost said the horrors. The horror movies that I've seen lately have been just such a incredible caliber of movie.
Well, it's because
like
horror...
Nosferatu, Sinners, this fucking Weapons.
The Quiet Place films.
The Quiet Place, like they not only
anything Jordan Peele has made.
Anything Jordan Peele's made. Not only are they thoughtful, well put together movies that are horror, like really well made horror movies, but they're just really well made movies. Period. And like it's not like the Conjuring movies aren't well made, but it feels very much like the MCU of horror movies, which isn't to say that that's a bad thing, but you're getting exactly what you're expecting. And I think a horror movie should hold itself to a higher standard than that.
Yes, I agree.
Anyways, those are my final thoughts.
Those are I think we can wrap it up.
This is our raw reaction to Weapons. Have a good night. I hope you're listening to this in the dark. Good night.
Yeah, because it was a